Hey everybody, Ken here, back for some more Hearthstone Arena. Let's go straight into it. So we had these three classes. I'm going to pick Mage. I haven't played Mage in Arena for a while. It's a fairly strong class. I think I like the Mage. Okay, first choice. Sludge Belcher, Goblin Sapper, Violet Teacher. All decent. We don't know what spells we'll have. I think Sludge Belcher's a nice easy pick. Here, I like the Jungle Panther well enough. Do I like it more than the Stalker? I think perhaps I do. I like being able to trade up. But then the Stalker works well with the Mage because you can always ping and trade with another 2-3 if needs be. Let's go for the Panther. It's a good reliable card, it can trade up quite easily. Decent. Sorcerer's Apprentice is a decent 3-2. Really like Worgen Infiltrator. We don't have any spells again. I'm sure we'll get some, but definitely Water Elemental. Here, Flame Cannon's a great card, but I think I prefer having the minions to start with. None of these are great. Arcane Explosion is okay because there's quite a prevalence for low cost cards with low health in Arena. Sen'jin versus Volcanic. I think I prefer the Sen'jin personally. I think there's better top end things. Piloted Shredder, great card. Dragon's Breath, not super good. I think the Spellbreaker, good utility. You can use it to hide a taunt or to stop a Tyrion. You never know what you'll run into. Don't really like any of these. Arcane Nullifier is, I don't think, as good as it could be for what it costs. Young Priestess, also not great. Light Warden, not great here. I might take the Young Priestess on the grounds that there is quite aggressive decks can be quite good in Arena. It's just there's just so much low cost. Arcane versus Novice. Slower play versus more aggressive. Don't have many 2s. It's not really a 2. Okay, Frost Elemental or Ironforge Rifleman. I like the Rifleman. I like the Frost Elemental too. We don't have any high-end cards. Let's take the Frost Elemental. Here, Dark Iron Dwarf, great card. Top end. Getting a lot of 4s, so bear that in mind. Toshli's good. Toshli's a good solid card. Doesn't get hit by big game. Ragnaros, I think that can be such a curse as much as anything else. Rule is a really good solid card, but it's also an 8 mana card, and it doesn't necessarily do something. Toshli always will. I think I prefer Toshli. Oh, look at this, 2 in a row. Fantastic. Now, ordinarily, I'd love the Mimiron's head, but not really many mechs going here. We've got one. Looks like that's it for now. Toshli doesn't count as a mech. Harrison Jones is a great card when it works. Blingtron is fun, but it's a little unreliable. I think Harrison's a good card generally, and when it destroys a weapon, it can win a game. Fireball is Fireball. Arcane Explosion's okay. I think getting a 2-cost minion here is good. Snow Chugger is a great card. Chugger, chugger, chugger. Another Sorcerer's Apprentice, sure. I'm kind of glad we didn't take that first one. Gadget Zan. Up and down on that. I think maybe another Young Priestess. I think this isn't super great. We don't have that many spells going on. Ancient Mage is mediocre. Young Priestess is at least aggressive. Spider Tank versus Polymorph. Spider Tank fits well into our deck lineup. Polymorph is such hard removal that I think I'd like to have one in my deck at least. Kirin Tour we have no secrets for. Imp Master is a great card. I think I'm going to take the Imp Master here. We don't have enough mechs really to reliably get this. We have 1, 2, 2. So let's grab the Imp Master. Kind of fill out our curve a bit better. Frostwolf Warlord is okay. We have quite a lot of low value cards. And it can be a bit of a finisher. Don't have too many battle cries for this, but we could always bump an Imp Master back. Okay. Don't like these particularly in general. So maybe we've got a Spellbreaker already, or I would probably take another one. Earthen Ring is a great card. Boulder Fist Ogre is a great late game card. Healbot I think fits nicely into our curve. I don't like Farseer that much. Duplicate is okay. Flame Cannon's good. Arcane Intellect's decent. All reasonable cards. Have a think. Do we want some more removal? We don't have a lot of removal. No Flame Strikes. Which is disappointing, to be honest. This is no use. These are okay. I guess the Mirror Entity. I don't like the unreliability of the arcane missiles. Soot Spewer is a decent 3 cost. Injured Blade Master is also a decent 3 cost. How many spells do we have to buff? 1, 2. Not really worth it, is it? Not really worth it. I think the Blade Master is a slightly better card. We have an Earthen Ring Farseer. Here's our deck. Take a quick couple of pictures of it. Always like to keep a record of my decks. Okay, and let's get underway. See who we have first. Not super happy with this deck. No Flame Strikes, 1 Fireball, 1 Polymorph. Quite creature heavy, which is okay, but Mage's strength comes so much from having those reliable board clears. And I don't think our minion quality in general is super high. But let's find out.
Versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
You asked for it.
Okay, this is a nice start. I like this start well enough. I think I'll hold on to everything. We have a turn 2 play, a turn 3 play, a turn 4 play. We have the Fireball if we need it. That all feels okay. I think our curve's okay on this deck. And curve is hugely important. I think a lot of the time the way Arena runs these days is so much on just take cheap stuff and throw it at people. And we'll probably try some of those at some point. But I don't love it. I don't love it as a way of playing. I think it's interesting. It's interesting just to flood the board with cheap things that you can get your hands on quickly, get them out, be aggressive. Clearly what this guy's up to. And that's okay. We'll play the slow game. Slowish game. I don't want to, don't need to rush against this guy. The Imp boss, always a bit scary. Always a little bit scary. And What do we like here? Do I want to kill the imp boss? I kind of do, because it's such a threat. What are our other options?
What to do?
We could play the apprentice and ping the guy. I also like that. Okay, you know what? I've changed my mind.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Let's hang on to the fireball for now, because I think it's a good thing to have in your back pocket. This trade's okay. You'll only get 2 imps out of it. Imp Gang Boss is such a strong card. I think the potential to get so many imps out of it, it's obviously, you know, compare it to Imp Master, which only triggers at ends of turn, but theoretically you could get more imps out of. However, it's only a 1 attack minion itself, less strong in general. Okay. Now, Water Elemental requires at least 2 minions to kill it. Won't kill both of those minions, but I think it's an okay thing to have out. So let's go with it. Water Elemental is one of my favourite cards, possibly in the whole game. I think it's such a great reliable minion. It can lock down a player, you know, if you have a weapon class, then you can just completely shut them down with the Water Elemental. It's so hard to fight. Opponents don't want to attack into it. I don't want to attack into it because your stuff just gets left unusable for so long. Well, for a turn, but you know, most minions don't last more than a turn or two, so one of those turns being wasted is a big deal. Dr. Nakamatsu is our opponent, our warlock opponent. Okay. He appears to be going all in on it. Oh, the Bane of Doom, that's fantastic. Wow, okay, okay. Illidan. Well played, sir. Well, we have to kill Illidan, I think. We don't have much other choice. We can't give him a turn with Illidan out. But that really was a huge boon in his favour. Bane of Doom is unreliable, but I think it's a really fun card, and it's potentially a really powerful card. If you can make something kill a creature, if you can make it kill a creature, you can get some fantastic things. You know, you could end up with something rubbish, but there's quite a lot of good demons now, or at least decent demons. And you're not going to get the downsides for the ones that have downsides. Oof. A great spare part for him. Zombie Chow, another good card. This guy has decent quality cards. Not exceptional, but a lot of good cards. Zombie Chow, Void Walker, Imp Gang Boss, all very, very high level cards in my opinion. What do we feel here? Put out the Ogre, which he can't immediately deal with. Or put out the Frost Elemental. Keep him kind of slowed down. See if he uses removal on that rather than using it on the Ogre. We've always got the heal in our back pocket. We've got loads of heal. The heal bot obviously is 8, and then we've got another 3 from the Farseer, or we could use that on a minion such as the Boulder Fist, or even on this Frost Elemental if it makes sense. I like that. There's the Imp Gang Boss again. So yeah, I'm glad we kept that Fireball, or Illidan would probably have just up and killed us. Okay. Now, for me the play here is to kill this fellow. Maybe put out the Piloted Shredder, the 4/3, ping this,
What to do?
and call it at that, I think. In fact, I'm going to ping this, see what it summons. Okay, good to know. And then play the piloted shredder. There wasn't much difference we could have made there, but you know, in an emergency I could have maybe healed this up. Ultimately, it's not going to make too much difference whether this is healed or not. You might have to trade a few more things into it, but come on, Mr. Nakamatsu. Dr. Nakamatsu, in fact. What have you got for us, good doctor? Ooh, that's okay. That's quite a good 2-cost minion to pull out. Let's see what he plays. Ooh, the healer. It's quite scary. Okay. What are our options here? Ogre and Sorcerer's Apprentice. Feels okay to me. We could play the heal bot and one of these 3 costs.
I wonder.
He had 8 mana there and he didn't choose to play anything huge, so he didn't necessarily have anything huge in his hand. I think, you know, this doesn't die to one of the creatures on the board. He needs both of them to kill it. He might Siphon Soul. He might, you know, he might have a Bane of Doom in his hand or a Mortal Coil. That would do it. Or a Power Overwhelming. There you go, Direwolf Alpha. That's an interesting way. Okay. And then trading off. Ooh, okay. That's quite scary. Would I have rather had the mirror entity there? I mean, hypothetically, I wouldn't have got the Trogzor anyway, so if you think about it that way. I think, what have we got in our hand? I'm going to drop the Imp Master. I think that dies too easily to the Darkscale Healer. I think a 3/3, maybe Harrison, is 8, and the Young Priestess.
That belongs in a museum.
Odds are he's not going to pull a weapon out of nowhere, so. This is tough though. This is definitely a tough spot to be in. I'm trying to think what we've got in our deck that would be game changing for us, and there isn't a lot. You know, we despite getting 2 legendaries in a row, we didn't really pull a lot of stuff. But I'm trying to think about the other legendaries we had, whether any of those would have been more beneficial to us. I can't honestly say that they would.
From the void I come.
For the crusade!
Okay. The Dark Iron Dwarf. So we can Dark Iron Dwarf kill Trogzor. I think we're going to have to do that. That leaves us with 4 mana. Maybe play the Mirror Entity.
You call that
Okay. Still not ideal. We've got Arcane Intellect would be quite nice to have now, just to fill our hand up a bit more. This is where playing against a Warlock is tough, because he's still got loads of health. He can tap away and keep his hand filled up, which isn't ideal for us. But
so many possibilities.
But we've still got options, I think. I'm going to say we've got options.
Fix anything.
I'm going to believe we've got options. I always believe.
Fix anything.
He played against that well. Why I don't really like Mirror Entity that much. Can be super good, but it's not too difficult to play around. I wonder if he's holding on to a demon, or whether, presumably he is. His deck's, he has 5 cards in hand. Presumably he's holding on to a demon. And whether he's just cautious to play it. Interesting that he's very insistently going face. I'm not going to say that's wrong, because I don't think it is wrong necessarily. Spellbreaker here. Run into this guy and ping it down.
What to do? What to do?
Or alternatively, the 1/2 is not terrible, but I'd rather silence the Voidwalker. I mean, he can play the demon anyway, it's not the end of the world, but it would. I don't think the 1/2 is especially beneficial. We're not going to go to his face anyway. This isn't going to do much by doing that, so I think
Your magic shall not save
we'll stop him getting the free card. Bonk that. And get an Imp Master out. Okay. We're facing 8 damage, that's fine. He could have another 7 damage, that's quite a lot to pull out. Doom Guard and something else. Several other 2 damage sources from a Warlock.
Many possibilities.
Could Bane of Doom us to kill us. Oh, the Dark Bomb. Interesting. And another one? And a third one? Hellfire. Okay. That's fun. Well played, Dr. Nakamatsu. Strong deck. Well, not as super strong. In fact, no, he did have quite a strong deck. He really didn't put out many garbage minions. That Cogmaster maybe aside. Got quite a good pull with that Illidan. Obviously he had it in his hand, but you know, having a demon legendary come up in arena, that's a good draft. On to game 2. It's a tough life, but we can do it. I believe in you, Jaina. Oh, hello. Here's our new hunter.
You asked for it.
Look at that. What a fun animation. Got all these different backgrounds, and this is the first time I've seen the new one. Different deck, different card backs.
Hello?
Greetings. It's confusing to me because my immediate thought is that it's not a hunter class, and I need to remember that it's a hunter class, and just to treat it like a hunter. I could have attacked him. He's a hunter. Didn't think about that. It's a decision you've got to make, but I don't think, you know, hunters don't have a great number of ways to deal with like 1 damage, so it would have been okay to hit him in the face with the Worgen. Okay. The pirate. I wonder if he has a pirate. Didn't look like he pulled anything out of his deck. Who knows? Just keep killing his stuff. Okay, so we missed that 2 damage. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt us. It could do against a hunter, in all honesty. But you know, you live and learn. Larchleaf's a great name. This kind of reminds me of she kind of reminds me of Nissa Ravane from Magic the Gathering. My World of Warcraft knowledge is minimal, really. Kind of having played little bits here and there. But
First kill.
knock this guy out. But I've learned a lot actually just from playing Hearthstone, and what I've really enjoyed doing stuff like playing through the expansions like Naxxramas and Blackrock, and then going back and reading about the original raids and reading how they integrated the core raid mechanics into the Hearthstone fights. And I think it's really interesting to do it from that perspective. I'm sure those of you who played World of Warcraft at the time probably really enjoyed, you know, seeing those happen sort of organically as they did. Okay, and we could put a Sludge Belcher up. We could play the Injured Blade Master, which survives the board, and ping. We could play Dark Iron Dwarf, but that's not the best use of our mana. I like the Injured Blade Master and ping. Let's use our mana efficiently. Doesn't die to the Direwolf Alpha. He could charge with the Direwolf, but we couldn't really have dealt with the Direwolf anyway. Short of hoping for something off Arcane Intellect. You know, we don't have any Frostbolts in here. It's rough. Cobra Shot. Not a great card, but it did the job for him. So, I guess I shouldn't criticize it too heavily. Okay. We get Toshli out here. Why not? Let's give him a crack. The reversing switch. That's quite fun. Could come in handy, especially with Toshli around. You know, say if you put out a Boulder Fist Ogre. We'd be in an ideal spot to knock it out.
The gates are open.
Interesting, okay. Now would be a fantastic time to get rid of this fella. But no joy. Now if we swapped his attack and health, he'd have 6 attack. But too much health for us to kill. 6 attack and 7 health. Then we could Dark Iron Dwarf. That's an interesting way to go about it. I'm very tempted to do that. Kind of fancy. But I think it might be an interesting trial. I might do it.
What to do? What to do?
That leaves us with 2 mana, which we could play the Engineer. So maybe we'll play the Engineer first. Just check we don't draw a Fireball. Nope, okay.
Time runs out on
Yep, so that makes him a 6/7. Okay. I like that. That's an interesting play. He can Direwolf into Toshli. That's okay if he does. It's not the end of the world. It means that we've dealt with the Direwolf as well. Okay, Unleash the Hounds. That works out well for him. Now, if he uses this correctly, he can take out quite a lot. Ooh, a secret. Okay. Okay. He's going full face. That's a decision I'm not sure I can get behind, personally. But hey, you know, it's up to him. He can live his life however he wants, I suppose. Okay, now let's attack and I think see what that does first. Okay. And then I'm going to play the Sludge Belcher. If it's snipe, it survives the snipe. Okay, that's fine.
Runs out on me.
It's not ideal, but it's fine. I'd rather have a minion that survives. That he can't just drive straight through with his hounds. Personally, if I were playing that his last turn, I would have driven these two guys into the Dark Iron Dwarf. Because you kill one, next one bumps along to the Direwolf Alpha, another two attack to Mr. Dwarf. I think I prefer that to his strategy. But each to their own. I guess his or her strategy. Okay, options. We can trade minions here. We could freeze and go to his face. We draw cards and see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That would have us on 9, but then we would at least play some cards. Fantastic, the flame cannon. I like the flame cannon. And play a shield master. That deals nicely with his minion. Okay, feel fairly good about where we're at. We've got much more in our hand. Nothing on the board for him.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Ooh, the explosive sheep. Always a little bit scary. Very tempted to freeze the sheep here. Purely so he can't get rid of it off the bat. I think that's what I'm going to do.
I wonder.
Okay. We've got 13 damage on the board currently. I'm sure some of this will die.
The light does not discriminate.
Feel okay about that? He's obviously, you know, we haven't played any secrets so far. We have one in our deck, I think. Just the mirror image. He apparently has no secrets in his deck. Oh, he did have the one. He had Snipe, which is not a great secret in my book. Okay, how do I feel about trading into the sheep now and losing our dude? I feel okay about it, because then I can kill this Kazan Mystic as well.
Done.
Just thinking about how best to do this. Think.
Time runs out on me.
And
Someday I'll be just like you.
I could have time rewound Senj into my face. Ooh, what a snipe. It's not going to save him, but what a move. Oh, he's going all in. Crikey. He really is. He could have attempted to stay in it at least.
Well played.
But there we go. If he'd killed this with the Chasm Mystic, he'd had at least one turn to come back in. But maybe that was ambitious. Okay. Well, we got a win. 1 for 1 so far. We've got plenty more to look forward to. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We'll continue this arena run next time. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to like, drop a comment, tell me how you would have drafted differently, how I might draft differently in future, any tips you have, how you feel about the current meta, the state of arena, the kind of decks that you're running into. Be sure to subscribe if you want to watch more Hearthstone or other gameplays. I've been Ken. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you next time, and cheers!